Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Caveman's Evolution. How's everybody doing today? We got a good show for y'all tonight, though. I got to admit, um, I was over at John's the other day, and I forgot my fishing pole again. Imagine that, huh? But anyway, so he come up with this concept, so I took it to a new level. All right, so y'all ready to get into this? Hey, thanks, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, I'd appreciate it, but hey, until I get monetized, I can't throw no super chats or get nothing like that. Hey, Beverly, how you doing? Um, anyway, um, anyhow, like I said, John helped me come up with this concept. He said, since you the caveman, he said, why not think about doing something like evolutionary or like something to do with evolution. So I thought, and he said, why not do something like with literary books? So I thought of something funny. So I'm going to share this with y'all tonight and see what y'all think and see if y'all think it's crazy or if it's a good thing and we can continue doing it or we'll try something else. But for me, this is hilarious because, and I'm going to do it in a voice that everybody knows. I probably, well, anyway, y'all may pick up on the voice, you may not. I don't know. There was I can't remember where I heard it. It was years ago. It was in a movie, I think. But anyway, so without further ado, we are doing 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea today. I'm not going to lie to y'all about that. I have a 7-volume book of Jules Verne. He's like one of my favorite authors anyway. Um, and all of his books are fucking fantastic. But that's just me, and I'm a big Mark Twain fan too. The celebrated jumping frog of Alabaster County. I mean, you got Tom Sawyer, you got Huckleberry Finn, you got the the Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. I mean, you can't get no. I mean, those guys are just literary geniuses. Uh, hey everybody, what's up, Flow Grown Homesteader? That's a mouthful at one time. Uh, Virginia Bushcrafter, what's up, buddy? Uh, let's see here. But anyway, without further ado, y'all ready for this? Hey, TJ Frills, what up, bud? That's my buddy right there. That's one of my other buddies right there, man. Shoot, TJ always hit me up on Facebook, commenting on my stuff and give me good vibes. Hey, I appreciate that, TJ. I thank you a lot, my man. A Canadian Yankee in King Arthur's court. Wow. Yep, exactly. Another good Mark Twain book. All right, y'all ready? So I'm gonna do a Jules Verne's classic for y'all today, but I got a twist. So y'all get ready for this. All right, here we go. There we was, afloating on a big blue sea, aboard the good ship, Abraham Lincoln. I was sitting on the deck, taking in a salty breeze when all of a sudden, Captain Nemo's submarine done come out of the water, come out of nowhere and rammed us good. We was tossed around like rag dolls in a twister. And that's when I knew we was in for a wild ride. Captain Nemo come out of that there submarine and boarded our ship. He done told us we was gonna be his prisoners for a while. Well, we was all a bit taken back by this here turn of events. But I gotta say, that Captain Nemo was one mighty fine feller. Hey, Joni, what's up, babe? How you doing, darling? Yeah, we're definitely all a little bit crazy. So, what do y'all think of the story so far? Give me a little bit of insight. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny the way I did it. I used an AI program to do this with though, so that's a little scary. But it actually did the whole first chapter. I tried to get it to do the whole novel, and it told me it was like, nope, it can't do that because it's a literary classic, and it didn't want to screw it up. That's exactly what it told me. I'm like, wow, okay, well, F you then. So then I tried a chapter and it worked. All right. Well, actually, I've got the whole first chapter, so I can finish the story. The whole first chapter I can finish. So anyway, so we left off at like I gotta say that Captain Nemo, he was one mighty fine feller, even if he did have a bit of a mysterious air about him. He showed us all around his submarine, the Nautilus, and let me tell you, it was a sight to behold. It was like nothing I ever seen before, with all sorts of fancy gadgets and gizmos. Captain Nemo done told us that he was headed out into the deep blue sea where no man had ever gone before. And let me tell you, we all was all a bit nervous about that because we didn't know what sort of critters and monsters we might run into out there. But Captain Nemo was determined, and he was a man of his. He was a man who knew what he wanted. So we set out. So we set sail with Captain Nemo and his crew. We headed out into the great unknown with the Nautilus and a deep dive down into the depths of the sea. It was a wild ride, let me tell you. I'll tell you. But I gotta say, I wouldn't trade that adventure for nothing in the world. End of the story for for now. So what do y'all think of that? Uh-oh, that ain't good. Exactly. Where no man is gone before a fur. Yeah, man, Jules Verne's crazy, but that is a wild ride, man. I love it. The way I got it set up. So I will do the next chapter next week if y'all want to hear the rest of some more of it. But no, that's what I come up with when John told me to do some kind of evolutionary thing. I said, I got an idea, and then I sent him the first clip I did, the first little like page I did, and he goes, "That's it." He said, "That's it for sure." I was like, "Yep." I said, "I think that's my niche." I said, "I'm gonna do it in a crazy voice." Yeah, I know, right? I can't remember where I heard that voice from though. There was a hey McBean, you just missed it. I did Jules Verne as a country style in a country setting with a country voiceover. I heard that voice years ago in a movie somewhere, but I can't remember who it is. But he talks like that a long time ago. I can't remember who it was though. I think it was a western or something, and it may have been like Slim Pickens, but I'm just not pulling his voice all the way through. But there's a air about it. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, McBain, you missed it. I was doing a Jules Verne classic, 20,000 Leagues in Under the Sea, in a country accent. Like I had it, an AI program write the first chapter of Jules Verne. It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and I just read it in like well, I read it in a voice like this. But no, I didn't use the cloud. Hell, no, I downloaded something and put it on my phone, but it's a little iffy. I don't know. That thing's a little tricky. That's where that's why I told y'all like a couple of weeks ago I was going to fish around with this thing and see what it does, and right now that's what it's doing. That's what I can get it to do so far. I can get it to do like pretty much anything. I've actually had it write me books. Like I had it actually I'll read one. I'll read a part of one for y'all. This is one that I did and all I told it to do, I said, give me I said, make the lead character Doc Holliday. I said, put it in, his time frame or whatever. And then I said, give him a villain that would, match him or whatever. And then I said, and then you write the story. The next thing it come up with is this. It says prologue. In the Wild West of the late 1800s, few names carried as much weight as Doc Holliday. A former dentist turned gunslinger, Holliday was a notorious outlaw who had earned a reputation as a deadly marksman and a fearsome opponent in any gunfight. He had been involved in countless shootouts and had managed to evade the law time and time again. But his luck was about to run out. Chapter 1. The story begins with Doc Holliday on the run from the law. He had just been involved in a robbery in a small town in Colorado, and the sheriff was hot on his trail. Holliday knew that he needed to get out of Dodge fast if he wanted to avoid being caught. As he rode out of town, he came across a group of bandits who were also on the run. They were led by a man named Jack the Snake Johnson, a ruthless outlaw who had been causing havoc across the West for years. Chapter 2. See what I mean? Like, this is crazy. I'm 47, brother. I was born in 1975, and my dad watched every Western in history. He watched Westerns up until the day he died. Shoot, I grew up on John Wayne, like what was the guy from Wagon Train? Uh the the Wagon Master. I forget his name now. Shoot, I grew up on all that stuff, man. And I'm a history buff too, so that's why I like had this write a story about Doc Holliday. But I mean, that's just what I'm saying, man. Like, this thing is nuts. Yeah, man. You talking about the one with Brad Pitt, the Jesse James and the coward? Yeah, Burt Ward. That's who I was thinking of. You think you're right, Michael? Yeah, I was trying to think of Burt Ward, but I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, yeah, I did. I seen that movie, man. That was a damn good movie about Jesse James. But no, that's what I had it right. That was it wrote me a whole book like that. I mean, there's hold on, I'll tell you how many chapters was in the book that it wrote. There was 7 chapters exactly. It wrote me a mini novel. Uh which in today's market would be about $50. uh Shoot. It's like I asked it to write an idea that I had. Me and Brandy was working on before she went MIA, and I don't know what happened to her. I gotta call her because she's not responding to me on Facebook, so I might have to call her. Vincent the Viper. This is what I had. This is what it wrote for this. Yeah, yeah, man. That and High Chaparral was one of my favorites too. I liked it, and my dad was a John Wayne fan, so granted, I'm one of his fans. So my favorite movie of his, though, was the Cowboys. That's my favorite movie of his of all time. I mean, I have most of my dad's old John Wayne movies that he had on DVD that my brother and everybody else bought him. But um, no, and I got a lot of his other westerns too. But um, no, that High Chaparral was one of my favorites. Wagon Train, Rawhide was one of my favorites. I was cool with Gunsmoke. I like Gunsmoke. Yeah, Hondo was a good movie. Um, I liked Rooster Cogburn too. That was hilarious. And John Wayne was the best. True Grit. I mean, that you can't. I don't know. Jeff Bridges did a good job, but you can't beat John Wayne in that movie. Um, yeah, The Virginian was really good. I really liked that TV show back in the day when Dad watched it. I used to sit and watch it with him. I used to watch it in Bonanza. Yeah. Now those two, yeah, that paint. Oh wow, that horse was wild. I love that dog. I love that horse though. That horse was cool. But no, honestly though, like this is what John come up with, but I figured it was a cool idea. So I went with it. And then I just said, I'm gonna put a twist on it for myself. But yeah, but that's what it come up with. Like, it's crazy how this thing is. Uh I actually had it right. See, what else did I have it right? Oh yeah, I had it right like a poem. Listen to this. I come up with the poem in my head, but I give it an idea of what to write, and then it wrote the rest of it. And anyway, it goes, moonshine, moonshiners, and books. There's a lot to these than just their looks. The stories they tell, the secrets they keep, are enough to make even the bravest heart leap. Moonshiners with their skill or their steals and their wares, working hard to avoid the law's snares. Moonshine, a drink that's strong and pure, a taste of the South that will always endure. And books, oh, the tales they can weave, taking us places we could never conceive. From love stories to history and more, the knowledge they impart we can't ignore. So let's raise a glass to moonshine and books and all the adventures they help us undertake. For in these their pages and in their jars, we find a little piece of heaven, no matter where we are. Hey, brother, I dude, I've read Louis L'Amour since I was like 8 years old. I could tell you some of the stories that he told, but I can't remember none of the titles. But the Shadow Riders, for one, I know. Now that one I definitely know. Um, and then the Sackets. That's like my two favorite of all time of his. That I don't know. Yeah, me too, Beverly. Me too, girl. I'm definitely in the South. I live here. I'm just an old good old hillbilly. Born in West Virginia, lived in born in West Virginia, raised in Virginia all my life. Crazy. Oh wow. Yeah, my grandpa had a lot of his books. My dad's dad, but I don't know what happened to him. Uh, I guess my grandmother still has them. I guess I should ask her if I could have them, but I don't know if she still got them or not. Unless one of my other cousins on that side of my family got them, which is a possibility. Which, yeah, it's okay. I mean, you know. Oh yeah, you probably are, girl. You probably in Georgia, and if you in Georgia or Alabama, you definitely more southern than me. You deeper in the South. But I live in the capital of the South. Nah, I'm joking. All fun. No, we're all just Southern anyway. It doesn't matter. Hey, Tennessee, I love it. I told somebody at work yesterday or today one, I can't remember which. I said, you know what? I said, I think one weekend I'm gonna just take like 3 or 4 days off from work and just get an Uber because I don't drive because I have an anxiety about that. I can't do it. I feel like everything's closing in on me, and that's not a safe feeling. So I don't do it. Uh, yeah, Georgia. uh, I have to do it that way. It's the best way to say it. Or I could do it like Louis Armstrong. Nah, I feel. Nah, I love Louis Armstrong, man. That dude was he could blow the pipe. Mm, that trumpet was something in his mind. In his hands, that damn thing was magic. But yeah, so like, but no, I was like, and then I dove into this thing like a lot. Here's something. Y'all want to hear something it wrote for me? Did I ask it to write for me for one of the shows that I thought I was going to do? Um. Oh well, you got a point. I give you that one, Joni. I give you that one. That stuff was good. So's the apple too, though. But I have to tone it down a little for myself because I can't drink it that strong. Um, so I use apple cider with it. But oh, but I did try it like point blank, and yeah, it's good. But it's but no. Anyway, so so I asked this AI program to write me like a stand up comedy routine, right? So anyway, so I said, I'm like, give me a political comedy routine. So this is what it tells me. And this is the political comedy that it gives me. Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm talking to somebody, so that is a start. I can't divulge who it is yet because I'm not like we're not dating or nothing yet, but we'll find out. Yeah, maybe so, TJ. Just a little. uh, but no, listen to this. This is what it wrote for me. It said, so it tells me to start it like this. Hey, folks, have you been keeping up with the politics lately? It's like a reality TV show, but with less likely characters and even more drama. Yeah, it definitely is. And then it says, but I mean, you know, have you seen the presidential debates? It's like a game of dodgeball, but instead of balls, they're throwing insults and false promises. And you know what's even crazier? The winner gets to access the nuke button. Now tell me, like this damn thing is nuts. I'm getting more afraid every time I do this. No, nah, man. No, that's not the same one. I done stopped talking to her a long time ago. Uh, but no, I'm talking to a different girl now. Um, I just started talking to her about 2 or 3 days ago, actually. I'm supposed to go to the park with her tomorrow after I get off work. So we'll find out what's going on. Uh, yeah, right, Beverly, a clown show. You're right. Um, but yeah, and now listen to this. This is more of what it's saying. It says, but let's not forget about Congress. Those guys have the power to make or break our lives, and they can't even agree on what to get me started on lobbyists. They're like mosquitoes, except they suck out your money instead of blood. And speaking of money, this is the next part of it. Then it says, and speaking of money, have you seen how much it costs to run for office these days? It's like a down payment on a small country. uh, no wonder only the rich and powerful can afford to play the game. Yeah, you'll find a lot of stills in the mountains. Really, I mean, oh Lord, around here, you're liable to find a lot. I mean, because I'm only like one county over from Franklin, so I'm in Pulaski County, which is it's about an hour, maybe hour and a half from Franklin County. um, or to Carroll County, either one. Depends on which way I go. But yeah, it's not bad, man. Like, but yeah, you probably find a bunch of steals up here. There's a bunch of them up here. There was at one time in Franklin County, they busted uh just one moonshine ring. They had over 800 800 gallon pots. like the submarine pots, in a big ass shed, and they were cooking moonshine by the gallon every single day, like by like 50-gallon barrels. I mean, they had shit everywhere. That's why they call Franklin County the moonshine capital of the world. But and it still is because nobody has not stopped making whiskey in Franklin County. I know people that make whiskey in Franklin County to this day. I've got a couple buddies that do it over there in Franklin County, but I won't divulge who it is because I'm on a you know national platform, so I can't say. But anyway, uh, no, this thing's ridiculous because then it says, but you know what's more ridiculous than that? It said the fact that we still use the electoral college to elect our president is like playing a game of poker, but instead of counting the chips, we count the number of times someone says swing state. Yeah, that's what I say. Let them do it. If they can make money at it, I say let them do it. Uh, Amen to them, bro. That's what I told them. I was like, y'all can do it good. I was like, I'm all for y'all. Just don't get caught. And they said, well, that depends. I said, yeah, you're right. But anyway, and then it says, then this thing wrote the rest of this is like, then it goes, and let's not forget about the media. They're like a bunch of teenage gossip queens, but instead of rumors about who's dating who, they're spreading rumors about who said what and who's going to win the election. And you know what's even worse? We can't stop watching. And sadly, that's almost true. Then it said, but then here's the end of the routine that it wrote. Then it says, but hey, at least we can all come together and agree on one thing. We all hate politicians. They're like a necessary evil without the necessary part. Anyways, that's my time. Remember, folks, if you can't beat them, vote them out. Thanks. Good night. Oh, they'll do something. You know what's going to happen. It's going to be a freaking brouhaha in when the election starts next year in November or this November. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, you're right about that, and that's not a good idea because none of them big cities are really all that great. Not necessarily in financial standings. Some of them suck. But no, that was just what that AI wrote me as a stand-up comedy routine. That wasn't me as a person saying that. But no, that was just a comedy routine. I got it to write for me. I'm like, what the crap? But yeah, I mean, it's nuts. That AI program's a little iffy because, I mean, but sorry about that. I was reading something. Um, but yeah, like that thing's a little bit iffy. I'm starting to wonder if it ain't the honest to God recreation of the fucking Skynet from the Terminator. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Moron's an understatement, but it's close. I don't know exactly how far off you go from that, but it's crazy. But he is a moron. He's definitely that. But we've had a lot of those lately. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me neither. I honestly I just don't even pay attention to it no more. I don't even watch nothing anymore. What up, Lord Eagle? Hey man, you missed it. I did 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in a country accent with in all country. I had an AI program write it for me. It was hilarious. But it was the first chapter of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It was funny as hell. Everybody liked it though. I think I'm gonna do the next chapter next week or next Friday. Yeah, bro, you missed it all. You want to hear a little clip? I'll show you. Hold up. I'll just read the first paragraph. It goes like this. There we was, floating on a big blue sea, aboard the good ship Abraham Lincoln. I was sitting on the deck, taking in a salty breeze, when all of a sudden, Captain Nemo's submarine done come out of the nowhere and rammed us good. We was tossed around like a rag doll in a twister. And that's when I knew we was in for a wild ride. So there you go, Lord Eagle, and everybody else that missed that part. That was part of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in a country accent. I know, right? It's great. I think I'm gonna do chapter 2 next week. And I'm definitely gonna be back on next Wednesday. So y'all watch out for me. It's just been I've been trying to get crap in order. And then when I went to John's, then he come up with this idea, and I had to like cook up something for it. So that's when I come up with the when he come up with the evolution thing. I was like, bam. That's when I come up with he said something about literary, and I said, I know what I can do. Then the next thing I know, I'm over here at the house cooking up something in a stew in my head, and the next thing you know, it hit me. Yeah, we're gonna have some wacky Wednesday. Oh, I could do some of John's book. Yeah, I actually could. Actually, I have his book. I just got to get it to. I'd have to translate it, give it like a part of the. I don't know if, but it may actually be able to do it. It may be able to actually find his book. But I have one of his books downstairs actually. Um, I think it's called Angel, but I can't remember. It's about a grid. It's a good book though. I liked it. John writes pretty well, but now he's going into that game thing because I'm helping him do that too. But we'll figure it all out eventually. He's writing something else, so oh, you'd like his series, man. Get the Gunship series. That's a good one. Either Gunship or any of them, really. I mean, honestly, look up Angel. It's a good one too. I think that's what it's called. I'd have to go downstairs to get it, but I'm not going down that far because it'd take me like 5 minutes to get it and then come back up steps. Well, not 5 minutes, but it'd take me a minute, and I don't want to leave y'all hanging. But no, honestly though, that's what I come up with this past week. So that's what I was doing. I was trying to cook up, you know. Go to Amazon. No, I've been in the weeds. See, well, he might have been already in the weed. No, actually, he ain't because he wouldn't be losing his memory this fast. It actually helped preserve some of it. John, Prepper Nation, John Davis. Look up Gunship. That's his series that he did. It was kind of based loosely like on the. It was based loosely on like the Firefly series, but all totally different characters, a different way of doing things. I mean, but it was kind of like in that same mold. People called it a ripoff, but it really wasn't. I mean, he had completely different people in there, and it was completely done a different way. Like it wasn't an exact ripoff. It wasn't a ripoff at all. Honestly, it was a good book, and I honestly thought it was great. I even put it on there that it was because I read it because he let me have the manuscript at one point, and he told me to read it. And I read the whole thing from cover to cover, and I was like, damn. Yeah. If you look at his Prepper Nation, like his emblem, it's his name is written J. Davis in the middle. Yeah, I know, Red Dog. I get it, bud. I get it. I get it. No, 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 no. John. Yeah. Yeah, FBA. Yeah, I would definitely go there. That or myth. Because that man's just, I don't know, he's gone. That dude is gone. It is a sad sight to see when he walks up to the podium. You almost feel sorry for the guy because he gets up there and he's standing there like this. And then he looks down at the podium and he goes, "Oh, I'm supposed to talk." You can see it in his face. It's like it realizes in his head. He realizes, "Oh shit, I'm supposed to talk." Well, let me think. My fellow American, let me start this off. Oh, what was that? I mean, come on. Yeah. No, he probably wouldn't in it. He probably wouldn't know how. All right, baby. Have a good night, sweetie. Have a good evening. Thank you for coming. God bless. Oh my God. Yeah, man. What new jobs? Where? 230. What? No. More like 230 jobs. 230,000 jobs up and left. And now we're going, where's the work? Like, come on, man. What is he? Fucking blind? Stupid? Both? All of it? I think that's what it is. Yeah. Like almost have to anymore. It's the reason I worked like almost 80 hours this week or 82 hours in 2 weeks. I should have worked more than that, but we can't get no more overtime. They won't allow us. So I have to work all the way up to the very end. I got to get at least 40 hours a week. Yeah, you're right about that, Flo Grown. I'm telling you, man, this inflation's going to kill everybody. And he's up there telling everybody, oh, the inflation's fine. It's gone down. Blah, blah, blah. No, it ain't. You got banks falling into disrepair because they can't pay their own damn bills. You gonna tell us that the inflation's fine? No, you idiot. It's killing us. Yeah. And then that's what they're gonna do. And then what they're gonna end up doing is they're just gonna keep doing that and doing that and doing that, and then all of a sudden the economy's gonna blow up and we're gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? and then we're gonna be crushed. And it's gonna be 1932 all over again, or worse, probably worse. I got you, bro. Yeah, no, like that's the whole point. They think just because people got off of unemployment or it ran out or whatever, or people didn't re-sign up for uh help or whatever, that everything's hunky dory. But come on now, yeah. No, I've actually yeah, Michael G. Actually heard that song. I forgot. I read that wrong the first time I seen it. My bad, bro. But yeah, definitely. That's a good song though. That's a classic melody. It's like cough cough. Shoot, one of my favorites is by Toby Keith. Talking about the Willie song where he smoked weed on the bus with Willie. That's another good one too. Yeah. I mean, you got to do something, man, or it'll bury you. I mean, I definitely know where you're coming from, bro. I do. Cuz this economy is not funny. Like there's nothing funny about the economy anymore. It's a damn strict joke, and it's a sick joke that he created. And then all of a sudden, he's up there trying to tell us, "No, everything's okay. We're going to be all right, blah blah blah." No, we're not. Fuck you, you dumbass. Yeah. Yeah. The thing no doubt. Like, come on. I mean, you can't stand up there like a moron and tell me that uh this country is okay with the recession and blah blah this and there is no recession or there is no this or there is no that or there is no whatever, and you're standing there listening to somebody in your ear plus looking off the side of the stage like, what am I supposed to say next? Or mimicking mouthing something, and then 2 seconds later you're yapping bullshit across the nation trying to give him a big ass lie. Yeah, he is a big ass dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, he don't care. He was out there to give the American people what they want. Yeah. No, I haven't heard that one, Michael G. I'll have to look that one up. But yeah, Toby Keith's a badass, man. He don't care. He's just good at it. He's just good at what he does, and he don't care because he loves doing it, and he loves it for the American people, and he impresses me, man. That's why I say that's one of my favorite songs by him. Because I mean, who the hell going to smoke? And it's like Snoop Dogg said one time, the only man that could outsmoke him was Willie. He said, and then the interviewer asked him how he knew, and he said, "Come on, man." How you think I know? I was on his bus. You know the Snoop D-O double dizzle. But I mean, shoot. Willie American legend on the weed though. That boy, Yeah, we're screwed. You ain't lying, Big Daddy. You are not lying. Yeah, I'm trying to grow me some too. Like I got, I'm starting with this beets and cucumbers. I'm going this weekend, probably Saturday, and getting a raised couple raised flower beds or garden beds or whatever. Um, to plant my beets and stuff in. So hopefully I'll have me some beets and some cucumbers this year because I'm going to have my mom show me how to do how to can them and how to pick them because I want to know that recipe. She keep telling me it's my grandma's recipe and you just do everything equal, but I want to know how to do it. I want her to show me so I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't want to mess it up because I want them to turn out perfect. So yeah, definitely, bro. That's my favorite thing. Pickled beets are the greatest. I don't like them cooked or anything, but I'll eat them all damn day to pickle. I eat a pickled beet every damn day. Shoot, if I had jars of them things, I'd probably eat a jar a day. I know I actually could. I've done it once. I had a jar at the house one time, back when I was with my old lady. And I swear, man, that's all I did was eat them. I ate a whole jar in one day. Okay. Now I've heard of that album "Waiting on Columbus" by Lil Feat, but I've just never heard that song. But I did hear the other one, um, the Bogart one. Yeah. Oh yeah, my grandmother, man, I'm telling you, she made some of the best pickled beets in the world, and my mom mimics them very, very close. So hers comes to like within a hair of being like my grandma's, but that's who she learned it from because that was her mom. But I wish I could make. I wish I would have learned how my grandma made canned apples because I mean she was a freaking master, in my opinion. I mean, because I have never eat apples as good as hers, especially her applesauce. That shit was, uh. But grandmas, man, they got the best food, but they've been doing it forever. Yeah, to the right. But but no, like I mean, seriously though, I mean it's crazy. But now grandmas have the greatest repertoire in cooking there is. And then I guess it goes down to your mom. But most people, it's like grandma, mom, and then whoever else in your family. Oh, wow. Yeah, apple butter is really good too. That takes a while though. I've seen that being made. If you do it the right way and the good way, that takes a minute. I remember going to a church years ago when I was a kid, watching like these older ladies. They had this big old like pan, and they had this wheel, and they were turning this stuff, and it was apple butter, and they were turning it slow, but they had this like crank, and they would just turn it like this, like every few seconds, and they just kept it turning, and they had heat under it, and it was just saucing up, and I'm like, oh, and you could smell it, the cinnamon in it and all of that. I was like, man, that's just, oh god. They started jarring that stuff up. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's just like a blessing in disguise. Mom bought a jar. I was like, ooh. Got that home. Man, that was some of the mouthwatering. Some of the mouthwatering is apple butter I ever ate. But I put that stuff on a biscuit, and it was just like heaven. I was like, man, I'm done. Yeah, my grandma made some damn good chicken and dumplings too, Michael G. I know what you're talking about, bro. I definitely know. But I didn't eat chicken and dumplings because I didn't like them. But everybody in my family always raved about my grandma's chicken and dumplings. But that was just, that was one of her things that she could do. That woman could cook. Red Hots and Johnny Appleseeds. Oh yeah. Man, I tell y'all what, one of my favorite deals of that was Pop Rocks back in the day. Come on, man, you couldn't get no better than that. Throw that shit in your mouth and hear it going. Sound like something off of a get on a cell phone and be like, I can't hear you. Have him in your mouth. Just open your mouth a little and have the fuzz. I got a loose connection. I'm sorry, I have to call you back. Beep. That'd be funny as hell. But it would work. But no, it's been a fun hour, y'all. But shoot, well, almost an hour anyway. Uh, but no, like I said, I'm going to try to do. I'll probably do 2 chapters next week. I might actually get it to do chapter 2 and chapter 3, so we can get in deeper in depth in the story. If y'all want to do it, give me a thumbs up. If y'all want me to continue with the story, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Like in the chat menu. I mean, y'all can give me a thumbs up on the page, but y'all give me a thumbs up in here or a thumbs down, whichever y'all want to do. If it'll let you do it. But if not, then we'll go from something else. If you want to hear it, you know, do like okay, yeah, there you go, Joni. Yeah, that works. So Joni wants to do next week. Anybody else? Ask Joni how to do it. She'll tell you. If you don't know how to do the thumbs up, because I don't. I'll be honest with you. I ain't never done that. I ain't shafty like that. Hell yeah, brother. Well, good. All right. I'll fix the next 2 chapters for next week. I'll have that dang thing right. I'm telling you, man, that's the creepiest thing I've seen with that thing. Like, I can tell it to do something and it actually does it. It comes through for me. I'm like, it even wrote me a novel that I was like I was telling everybody else. It even wrote me a book that I was thinking about that me and Brandy was going to work on before she went MIA. But no, I'll give y'all a little clip. This is part of it. But anyway, so the backstory is this guy is an insane mob boss. Well, he's got to help this young girl. Well, it's a fantasy novel, and it's set in a time of like there is a pandemic in a way, but this is actually one that is destroying Earth, and she's the only one immune to it. So the doctors have said all they can do is like take off her blood to cure everybody, but he's going to protect her and try to find a way out of it. But here's the way the story goes, or it starts. The way this thing started it anyway. It says Vincent the Viper Rossi was a feared and ruthless mob boss. He had risen to power through violence and intimidation and cunning. He had seen it all and done it all, or so he thought. One day, a young woman walked into his life. She was 25 years old, with long brown hair and piercing blue eyes. But what caught Vincent's attention was her striking resemblance to his dead wife. It was as if she had come back to life, and he couldn't help but be drawn to her. Said the young woman's name was Emily, and she had a rare genetic mutation that made her immune to the deadly disease that was ravaging the city. Well, it went with a city thing, but anyway, yeah, man, I got a telegram. Yeah, man, go ahead. I still got it on my phone. I can look it up. It's still relevant. I still got it updated. I updated it about a week ago, I think. I don't get on it a lot, but if you send me a video on there, I'll go check it for sure, bro. Uh, but no, that's what that thing wrote. So that's part of the story it wrote me. That I come up with the concept and it filled the gaps in. I give it what I wanted it to say or what it like a premise of the story, and then it filled in the rest of the story for me. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's just too scary. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I say it's scary because all you got to do is give it an idea and it'll fill in the blank. Like I wasn't even thinking of it, but it kind of wrote a story just like what I wanted. And that's the scary part of it all. It took my idea and ran with it and made it just like kind of what I was thinking. And I'm like, that's just not cool in a way because I'm like, damn. Because in some ways, that's the way I would have wrote that story. But I'm not a writer. But I would have had, in a way, that's the way Brandy would have helped me write that story, I think, because she was going to write it for me, but I was going to give her the insight and what I wanted it to say and how. But, and that would have kind of been the way it started out and come out. But I would have filled in better gaps in him because it filled out more about her than it did him in that story. But anyway, that's no here nor there. But I'm just saying. but but no, it come close to the story I wanted, so it was like nuts. But I was no, that's kind of scary in the long run too, though. I don't know. I got to call her. I'm going to call her this weekend sometime and find out. I haven't had any contact with her in like a month, and that's starting to scare me because normally she, within a week or two, she's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm good. Thanks." Or she's, telling me this or that. And then I'm like, damn, hey, Teresa, you missed it. I did 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as in a country accent. Like the whole first chapter. It was funny. But I'm going to do chapter 2 and 3 next week. So what I'll do next week, everybody, if it's okay with y'all, I'll start out with chapter 1 and then we'll just go all the way through to chapter 3. And if Teresa joins early enough next week at 8 o'clock, I will read the whole story for everybody again, and then we'll just go to completely straight through all the way to chapter 3. But it was hilarious. Brian, you missed it, bud. I just did 20,000, the first chapter of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Hey, man, I got to do everything in a country accent. That's me. I'm a country hillbilly. That's what I was born and raised as. Shoot. I come at that honest. Oh, okay, yeah, that'll work. Just rewatch it, and then you'll hear the story because it's hilarious. uh, but no, I thank everybody. I'm gonna hop off for tonight. I got to get up at 6 a.m. But God bless everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate y'all like loving the story that I come up with y'all for y'all. I thought it was hilarious, but and I think y'all loved it too. Hell yeah, the hillbillies rule. Brian, I'm sorry about that, but rewatch this podcast, homie, because we're going to do chapter 3 and 2 and 3 of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as a hillbilly in a hillbilly accent. But Joni, have a good night, sweetheart. I appreciate it. TJ, thanks, buddy. Have a good night. Michael G, y'all have a good night. Teresa, have a good night. Y'all, Brian Ayers, Ron Reno, Lord Eagle, all y'all. Everybody, have a good night. God bless. I love everybody. We'll see you next week.